Hi, and welcome back to Q's Workshop. Off the back of the last video of making the vice end stop, I had a decision to make. Do I want to leave it silver as is and get some sort of protection on it, so corrosion protection, a rust protection onto it, or do I want to cold blue it? So the cold blue that I usually use is Insta Black 33. It's a product that I can get locally. It's the only inexpensive product I've found locally, besides some gun bluing liquid, which usually comes in very small bottles. But this is a very inexpensive product. Comes in a big 5-liter bottle. So it was either using that or using some sort of corrosion inhibitor and protector, something like CRC SP 350. So looking at Blondie Hack, so Quinn Dunk at Blondie Hacks, I know that she usually uses something called Bow Shield T9. Unfortunately, I couldn't get that locally, but I could get the CRC SP 350. I know this is one of the CRC is one of the products that she also uses for lubrication, so a graphite lube. So just seeing the name there, I thought, hey, let me give this one a try. So I think that's the way I'm going to go, is just to keep it silver and put some sort of corrosion protection on it, because I wanted to actually look good while it's sitting on the vise. So this has just got a very thin layer of oil on it from when I made it. I popped some oil on just to keep it nice and clean, and to stop it from rusting as it stood in my workshop. Being winter here now and raining quite a bit, there's a lot of moisture in my workshop, so I tend to oil things up a little bit more in winter to keep it from rusting and from any sort of corrosion. So at least this piece shouldn't rust. This is a piece of high-speed steel, and these are screws. I might just put some here on the ends of it just to stop that, because that's where I cleaned up the edges and shortened them a little bit. So I might just clean that up just to make sure that they don't rust on the ends. But I think to start off, I'm just going to clean it with some acetone. I don't think you necessarily have to clean it. The directions aren't super clear on what you need to do with your stock before you use it. I generally just say cover it in by spraying it, and it should be protected. But what I want to do is, because I've got probably some cutting oil and the 3-in-1 that I put on to protect it, because I got that on, I just want to use some acetone to clean all of that off, to make sure that the corrosion protection oil actually gets everywhere that it needs to get. So let's just clean all of this off. Right. Don't mess it, I guess, is the first thing to do. So to get the threads and the holes cleaned out nicely. Okay. That should be fine. Just clean these corners. Right, so as I said, the use of this is, they're not super clear on material prep, but there is a list as long as my arm on precautions while using it. So it's a corrosive spray itself, so the lubricant is corrosive, so watch out for eyes, inhaling, it can burn your skin. So luckily my workshop is open and there is a lot of airflow here at the moment. So all I'm going to do, shake it up and spray it all around. I'm just going to let it stand for a while. Alright, I've had it standing for a while. It's got a very strange look to it. It's almost like it starts pulling into the steel and it creates like almost like a reddish brown tint to the oil itself. On the specifications of the corrosion protection, it does say that it's quick acting. I don't really know what that means or how long it really takes to pull in. But while I've got that going, let's maybe just put some of this on the screws. There's more than enough over here. I'm just putting it on the end of the screws where I cleaned up the ends because they were too long. Yeah, that should be fine. Just put it there. Right, let's clean this off. Right, I still want to keep a little bit of oil on my threads, so I'm just going to stick a little bit of oil in the threads. There we go. Alright, so that's it. According to the description, it should last roughly 2 years with this protection on. I don't know under what circumstances that is. I haven't really done much research into that, but that's it. So I'm going to keep it like this. I'm not necessarily going to put more oil on it and see how it lasts, and I'll keep you up to date if rust actually does start forming on it. Alright, so it's been about a month with the vice end stop just lying around in the workshop on my workbench. You can actually see it's pretty cool. You can see actually I hope you can see that on the camera, but you can actually see the condensation that's building up on it. So it's pretty cool in my workshop, and the corrosion protection has actually done its job. It's still nice and clean. I don't see any corrosion on the surfaces, so it looks like it's held up pretty well. So it's, as I said, it's been a month or just over a month, but it looks pretty good, and that's just been lying on the side of my workbench to try and encourage some corrosion. But yeah, it looks good. Just as an example, here's a piece of steel that I cut at the same time, and you can actually see the corrosion on the surface. This was lying almost next to it on the workbench. It's just from another project that I'm working on, and you can see what it looks like versus this. So this is polished up. Generally corrosion, it's more difficult for it to sit on a polished surface, where this is rough from the saw. So this encourages the corrosion a bit more. So I guess it's not a perfect comparison, but I mean the fact that this hasn't built up anything over a month is pretty good. So all that I'm going to do is obviously just wipe it dry and then drop it in the drawer. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.